In 1890, psychologist Ivan Pavlov was making an experiment. He was experimenting on dogs, and more specifically how dogs would start to salivate whenever they saw food coming. But he also noticed another interesting thing. After a while, the dogs started to salivate before they even saw the food, when they heard the footstep of the assistant coming in. And so he took a little bell, and he rang this bell every time he was bringing food to the dogs. And after a while, the dogs would start to salivate just when they heard the bell, not when they saw the food. And so he was able to condition a response from the dogs, starting just from an input, so ringing a bell. Does this sound familiar? Notifications are one of the most powerful human conditioning tools in existence, and if you understand them well enough, you're able to synthetically fabricate a behavior for thousands or millions of people even. So imagine you're a farmer in the 1800s and you're plowing your field. I don't know what farmers do. I guess they plow their field. And then you hear a guy saying, "Hey," from across the street. So you turn around and you go back to work. And then after a while again, "Hey," you turn around and then you go back to work. And this happens again and again and again. And this happens 74 times per day. But that's exactly what's going on in your life right now. The median number of notifications for a smartphone user is 74 per day. And I checked my stats on my phone and I get around 200 a day. But how did we end up accepting this and making this a part of our daily life, a part that we don't even notice anymore? To see that, we have to learn about habits. And in the book The Power of Habit, there is what I think is the best definition of a habit, the habit loop. Whenever you're building a habit, you're not just building the habit itself, like smoking or running or opening social media, but you're building a loop. You're building a mental association of that action with a trigger and a reward. So let's just say you started the habit of going to run every morning. You just didn't start the habit of going running, that's the action, but you also started the habit connected to a trigger, something that generates the action. So for example, it's 7:30, so you said, okay, I'm gonna go at 7:30 every day. And then there is a reward. The reward could be different for different people. It could be feeling good after a run, or for other people it might be shaving off 2 seconds from your time per kilometer. Are you getting it? I think some of you are getting it. Are you getting it? In the last 10 years, what we built is the most powerful conditioning and habit creation machine in the history of humanity. You have the whole population with a device in their hand, and you have the smartest people in our time that are working in tech companies, and they are trying their best. They are putting all their efforts into sending the perfect trigger to the world, the entire world. And if they do well enough, well, they are rewarded with billions of dollars in advertising revenue or venture funding or market capitalization. Not a bad deal, right? But have you also ever downloaded an app and it was starting to send you some annoying notifications? Maybe they were not relevant, maybe they were too many, and you started to maybe silence those notifications or even delete the app altogether. While well-designed notifications can bring billions of value, poorly designed notifications can bring users to just quit altogether and stop using your product or stop using your service. And so what makes an effective and powerful notification? Okay, so as we saw, we want to build an action, and the notification is our trigger. So we have to define exactly what do we want. What is the action that we want the user to perform? So let me bring up this example. You have 2 notifications here. One is generic and without a call to action. If I click here, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going to be taken. Am I going to read an article? Am I going to explore some news? I don't know. While the other one is a very specific and with a very clear call to action. Read this article. Which one do you think will perform best? So the first ingredient is actionability. You have to make your call to action as clear and as specific as possible, and you have to make sure that what happens after, so the behavior in your app or in your service, is coherent with what happens in a notification. The second ingredient is context. We as humans throughout the day go through a variety of emotions and mental states and thoughts and things we are doing. A well-designed notification is able to magically appear on your screen exactly when you need it. So maybe I'm at the gym and I always listen to podcasts at the gym, and now I just got in the gym and whoa, a notification on my phone, and it's for a podcast and it's the exact duration of my usual workout. That's perfect. It's a no-brainer. Let's click on it. You're sightseeing in Rome and bam, notification, top 10 restaurants in the area, and they are all for pizza, and you know you wanted pizza. I know you wanted pizza. That's context. And with all the information coming from location and machine learning and behavior in apps, it's getting easier and easier to build notifications that appeal to the context of what's happening to the user. And the last ingredient to a successful notification is testing. You know the links that you have in Gmail, the blue ones? Well, Google tried 41 different shades of blue and tested them with users to see which one got the people to click the most, and that they chose that one. And you might not know it, but in your daily life, in the digital products that you use every day, you're part of hundreds, maybe thousands of different tests, and you are in different control groups of different companies, and maybe everyone is seeing a slightly different variation of a homepage or a landing page. The ones who succeed are not the ones with the best idea. They are the ones that design better tests. So let me give you an example of a notification that checks all these boxes and then I end up clicking on every single time. I use Google Photos to manage my photo archive and library, and every once in a while Google Photos sends you this notification that prompts you to look at photos that you took on the same day, but maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years before. It's always like a vacation or an event where you have a group of photos. I end up clicking on that notification every single time and reliving all my memories and sharing with friends, and all with this simple notification and transforms a boring gallery app into something that is exciting and you end up really enjoying. But if we talk about notifications, we must speak about the dark side. All these buzzes and chiming and pinging that you have coming from your phone all day, it's become a background noise for our lives, and we are getting accustomed to it. All of this background noise can be a threat to, well, getting anything done at all. Whenever you hear your phone buzzing or pinging, your attention automatically goes there for a couple of seconds. Maybe you don't even pick up the phone. And there is a mental burden associated with changing your mental state from whatever action you were doing or your task you were doing to thinking about that notification. And then human curiosity does the rest. Maybe somebody wants to talk to me. Maybe there was a nuclear missile strike. An email that I was waiting for. I don't know, but I need to find out. I need to open that notification. So you open it and then you end up 2 hours later in a scrolling spree, not really getting anything done. Research has been done and shows that when 2 groups of people, one with notifications enabled and one without even access to their phones, were given a task to complete, the group that had the notifications enabled showed higher levels of inattention and hyperactivity. Okay, and so what is the solution? What can we do here? To be honest, and this is my own opinion, I don't believe that companies should stop what they're doing or that governments will intervene in a short enough amount of time. So I think solutions should come from the people, by being aware of what is going on inside your head whenever you see a notification or you hear that buzzing on your phone. And awareness is the first step towards taking an action. So what I do once a month is I use a digital well-being tool that is built both in Android and in iOS, and it allows you to see how many notifications did you get, from which apps. And then I go through the list and I ask myself, does this notification from this app bring any value to my life? Of course, some notifications I want to keep. I want to keep notifications of messages from my family, from my close friends. Those I want to keep in my life. Those I think are bringing value to my life. But many spam notifications from apps I ended up getting rid of. And while Do Not Disturb is a useful feature, I will try to remove the problem at the origin. And so I hope this video helped you understand just a tiny bit better how our brain works and how they respond whenever we hear a buzzing in our pockets. So that was all for today, and sorry. Ooh. If you like this video, you might also enjoy this other one. I put a lot of effort and time and passion in all of these, and so I think you might like it. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.